This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On Air.
Kia ora, and welcome to Diversity Dispatch, your local queer radio show. We're your hosts, Ricky
and Percy, and we're here to bring you the latest in Dunedin queer news, community projects, events, and more.
Sit back, relax, and tune into our fortnightly show hosted on OAR FM.
Let's get started.
Kia ora, divas and divettes, and just divas. Devos, yes. Stevos. No, not that one.
Stevo's kind of based.
Exactly. Welcome back to another episode. You are joined by Ricky and
Anarchy.
Exactly. So aren't you guys just lucky today?
Yeah.
Guys being a gender neutral term.
Of course.
So today we're just sort of winging it, which
it's always good fun and games.
Just like eyeliner, you just wing it.
You just wing it.
If you don't know what you're doing. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. Been cracking away in the studio at some things, doing a little mock-up for a big upcoming project.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of things are you working on? Just like outfits
Just
and
outfits,
stuff?
Yeah. Lots of outfits in the works at the moment and just messing around with patterns to try and create something that I like.
Oh, we love that. Actually, there's like lots of projects that I have sort of been starting, but I've sort of been relaxing a bit the last week or so just because, it's not very often I get the time to just be.
Just chill.
Exactly, and just vibe. So I've been trying to make the most of that as much as I possibly can, but I think I'll do get Christmas out of the way today, whichever holiday you celebrate. There's a holiday that my parents prefer. Normally I'm not a gift giver, but I have the rare gift of having really good taste when it comes to op shopping. So I thought that at the very least I could do some shopping for my niece and nephew.
Yeah.
And just see if I can find some awesome staple pieces that they could just be like, oh my goodness, my awesome uncle has gifted me these beautiful vintage genuine leather shoes. Or whatever I find.
Yeah.
Favorite family member on the spot. Yeah. How do you feel about gift giving?
I like to do gifts. I'm not like a Christmas person. I don't like the consumerism. But if I see the right thing for somebody, I do like to get somebody just the perfect thing. But if I can't find the perfect thing, then you probably won't get a gift from me.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel about it. Because it's if the whole point of a gift is really to be oh, I recognize that there's an opportunity for me to go out of my way to make you feel good by this beautiful gesture. But it's if you're not 100% behind the gesture, why bother?
Yeah.
And it's gifts to me can be very hit or miss. I'm just oh, you think you thought of me when you saw this?
Oh, interesting.
I'd definitely be polite and just be thank you so much. I really appreciate the effort that, if there was some. But yeah, I think now that I'm sort of unmasking as a person, it's much more difficult for me to cover up. If I dislike a gift or something. And sort of sometimes I feel I don't necessarily need to. I've received some fantastic gifts in my life. I've received some not fantastic gifts in my life. And to me, those not fantastic gifts can be very it sort of just clues you into what's going on in the mind of the person. You're
interesting.
Yeah. And sometimes I feel oh, this gift was meant to be funny. I'm oh, so you spending your limited money and resources on a laugh, if you did laugh, in fact, because I didn't. I do understand that this gift could be at my expense. I hope it was worth the expense. Anyway. Yeah, so consumerism, gift giving, not my favorite.
No.
Especially when it comes to I need to get every person in my family a gift no matter what, and they have to like it. And holidays should just be chill.
Yeah.
You should rejuvenate as opposed to stressing out, being oh no, my family's going to freak out if I don't get them something they like. Just
spend time with your family. I don't know.
Or craft something really simple. Because I think, or I would hope that even if people don't necessarily like love the gift that you've made, like there's obviously attention to detail and time and care that goes into it. So it's like, you know, if they do decide that they're like, you know what, I'm not really into this, like, I don't know, teapot cozy, then it's like, well, what are we hoping for? We're hoping for, like, I don't know, a house.
In this economy?
Exactly. Or like a new iPhone 17 or whatever number we're up to.
Oh, God. Too many. Get rid of the iPhone.
Honestly, I'm kind of on that same page. Even though I love my iPhone, I've tried Samsung. It's not the go. There is this one, like, phone manufacturer where they... Because obviously nowadays smartphones are built to be like, what's that? You want to change the battery? And you used to be able to literally pop the back open? No, how about you buy another $2,000 phone?
Oh, God.
It's like... that. It's horrible. So, like, there's this one company, I can't think of its name, but basically all of the pieces to the phone are in, like, they're in their own little, like, units.
I think I've seen this one.
Yeah.
Because they let you replace all the parts.
Exactly.
It's all built to last, and it's meant to... It's meant to last you a lifetime.
It is. Like, it's designed so that if something on it breaks, you can buy that thing and just, like, unclip it and clip the next one back in, and then it's sorted. And I'm like, that's what we want.
Yeah.
That's what we need. That's what we deserve.
Mm-hmm. The right to repair.
Exactly. A product that cares about...
A product that's meant to last a lifetime.
Yeah. Like... Where is it? I need it. But also, like, I hope the, like, interface is nice.
Yeah.
Like,
it'll probably just run Android.
Probably. I'm wondering, maybe there's a way to just, like, customize it so it looks real nice.
Yeah.
So it runs real smooth.
You can do all sorts of fun stuff with Android if you're clever.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if you just, like, have the internet and take the time to watch a few tutorials.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I've always gotten past, like, opening up the back of my iPhone and taking bits out and stuff like that. Just, like... watch it, and then you end up feeling like a little tech whiz, even though you're like, no, I just followed instructions. It's kind of like baking.
Yeah.
You just follow instructions. Some people are like, oh, I can't bake. I'm like, you can't follow instructions?
Yeah. Like, baking is so specific, and it tells you right there everything you need.
They're like, this is the order. You need to do this. You need to put the 3 of this thing in the bowl. And then you add the other thing on top of it, and then you whisk it a little bit, not too much. And then it's like, oh no, it didn't turn out. It's like, did you put the discussed measurements of the discussed ingredients in the bowl and
They probably like stirred it instead of folding it in or something.
They're just like, no, and then I put it in a jar and I shook it because it would just speed things up so much, right?
Right.
Right.
There goes all your gases.
Exactly. Exactly. All of the air that you've been delicately folding in escaped. And that's why your cake is flat as a pancake. Because all the air fell out and then it's like stuck to the pan.
I mean, it depends on how you make your pancake.
That's right. I mean, I put a lot of baking powder in mine, so I like mine to be like soft and moist. But some people prefer this to be like a crepe. But I'm like, a crepe. A creme de la crepe.
Yummy.
Yeah, but I'm like, no, I want to feel like I'm eating carbs.
Yeah.
And like...
not a sheet of paper.
Exactly. I don't want to feel like I've cooked a utensil to eat my Nutella with. I want to feel like the Nutella's an option if I want to put it onto the thing that I've made that has carbs and is probably good for me.
Surely.
Yeah.
It's got flour, eggs, milk.
No extra preservatives. They have some strange, dodgy names. Last night, I have been shopping, doing a lot of grocery shopping at Unimart instead of the supermarkets, just because going to the supermarkets just doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I recently purchased one of those like aloe vera drinks.
Oh, yeah.
And it was lovely, delicious. Then I looked at the ingredients and I was like, there's like fructose and stuff in it. And I think maybe I might have heard somewhere that like fructose is not the most ideal thing to be consuming. And then, I didn't do any further research into it, unfortunately. I might.
I feel like they say that about everything.
Exactly.
Everything gives you cancer these days. Just have it in moderation.
Well, that's the thing, actually. That's a question that I've sort of asked myself before. Is like, how is it that like the human race seems to struggle with illness so much when a lot of animals and creatures and things seem to not?
Well,
but I suppose
they
also
do. We just
don't see them.
the ones that die off this often.
Yeah, but it's like, it seems like there's a lot. And then I was thinking, I was like, I wonder what causes that. Are our genetics just that cooked? Which they may be. But then I was also just like, oh no, it's actually probably just like mass-produced food with all of these like random chemicals in it to serve the corporation as opposed to the bodies consuming the product.
Oh yeah. Like they're putting things in our food that definitely were not part of the natural human diet once upon a time.
No, definitely not.
But, we like grains weren't really a part of our diet, and we domesticated grains and started agriculture and adapted and started. Most humans originally were lactose intolerant, and
oh my God, me!
Some groups just started drinking mammal milk, cow milk, goat milk, making cheeses. No, I think we're just going through a phase of needing to adapt to the new chemicals in the food.
Adapting
all the
to
microplastics.
Adapting to the new chemicals, or maybe some of the effects of like a few generations of having to consume these random,
Oh, it's like 2 generations of consuming stuff packaged in plastic. Not even that long.
I mean that's long enough though.
Yeah,
that's like, an entire lifespan of growth that's been intermingled with microplastics and things, which is spooky. It's spooky.
It's spooky. We don't know what the health outcomes are going to be yet.
I suppose in a few more generations.
Oh yeah.
Pardon me.
Oh, by the time we'll be in our 40s, and then all the news will come out that microplastics like calcify your entire body.
Pineal gland. They're like, we're all meant to be astral projecting like all the time, but that bagel that you bought from the place down the road, calcified your pineal gland. Or the water, the drinking water. What's the conspiracy? What is it? What's the stuff that's good for your teeth?
Fluoride.
Yeah, like putting fluoride in
and
the
like putting fluoride in water genuinely reduces the amount of cavities in a population. When I was living in Canada, I lived near Edmonton, and Edmonton put fluoride in their water. Calgary didn't. The city of Edmonton had significantly less cavities and dental issues overall just because there's fluoride in the water.
I wonder what it does.
It helps strengthen your enamel because it's a mineral.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's really good for your teeth. I think it's also good for your bones. And then some people just get weird about it because they don't understand how minerals and vitamins work for the human body.
And also just like people like, I don't understand this thing, so I'm going to be a pessimist and assume that it's the worst possible outcome.
Like MSG.
Which is just umami.
Yeah.
And
it's less sodium concentration per gram as well. Like it's a better salt for you.
Yeah. So it's like, I suppose it's very like, well, it's not from here.
Racism, so. Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. It's like, it's the Chinese spice.
Oh, no, you should buy our salt that we like.
You should buy our plain white people salt.
Yeah, because their one's too spicy. It's bad for you.
It's bad for you. It's so bad for you.
Yeah.
Because it tastes so yummy. Mm-mm.
Exactly. we love umami.
I love it.
That would be a lovely drag name.
Lovely drag name.
Umami.
Umami.
Umami. Oh. Yeah. So these are, I don't know how we do it, but we always end up on like a tangent of,
interesting things.
Yeah.
Gay people radio.
Exactly. Oh, that'd be a great name for a show, wouldn't it?
Gay people radio.
Gay people radio. Radio signals to the masses.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I think I might go check out some op shops later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The op shops have been pretty good recently because the students are out of town finally.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, now's the time to go, collect.
Peruse.
Exactly. So people with similar tastes won't be picking up all the same stuff. Hopefully. Yeah. So back to the Christmas stuff again.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking, like, I want to go op shopping and I want to buy some little bits and bobs and, like, interesting little trinkets or clothing items for my niece and nephew. I've never actually bought them gifts before, but that's mostly because of, like, struggles with money. But, like, you know, that's why op shopping's a good option, because it's like you don't need to go buy all these brand new plastic wrapped things that'll probably break straight away. Actually, that's another thing, like consumerism at the moment. Just the things that I've been purchasing, and then they've just either turned out to be an inferior version, or just the right amount of things haven't shown up, or just things like that. That, I feel like it's as frequent as every, like, third purchase.
Yeah.
Which is, like...
Everything's so poorly made these days.
It is, because now it's like everyone's having to prioritize, like, profit. And they're like, how do we make more money? Okay, we have to increase the price. That's not happening fast enough. We need to decrease...
Oh, we'll make the fabric thinner so that we can make the same gram of cotton go further.
Exactly. Or instead of making this belt buckle out of, like, brass, we'll make it out of, like, nickel.
Nickel, and then it's plated in brass.
Yeah, we'll just make it out of lead.
At this point, girl, I would not be surprised if they started putting lead back in things.
Literally. I ordered online some, like, lead-free solder because I wanted to make some, like, cool jewellery bits and bobs. And only one coil out of the 3 showed up.
Oh.
And I was like, oh. And then also, like, there was no labelling on the, like, actual thing. And I was like, so I'm just meant to believe that it's lead-free?
You should go to, like, an automotive store to get your solder.
I should. It's going to cost maybe, like, 5 times more. But also, like...
Generally, like, the automotive and hardware stores are pretty cheap.
Yeah,
compared to, like, the arts and crafts stores.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like, I've just been trying to look up, lead-free solder just in general. And some of the hardware stores, like, it's really expensive.
Yeah. Well, because it needs the lead to be soft, typically, and you're typically using it on, like, pipes, not jewelry.
Oh, pipes with water? Lead in the water?
I like welding things and shit.
Yeah, or, like,
and stuff.
Stained glass. Or beautiful things like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then my ADHD brain wants to, like, scratch at it. Or at least I used to as a kid. I'm like, all this metal bends. This is like a sensory yes.
It's like, oh no, it's full of lead.
I mean, as a child, I would have had no idea. I'm just like, oh, nice. I like it.
Well, at least we're not like my father's generation. They used to just pour molten lead into buckets of sand.
That sounds like a fun afternoon.
Yeah, I think my dad was like 12 when he was getting up to this with his friends.
Why?
I don't know. It's the 70s. You don't have much to do in the 70s.
That's true. I suppose you just go for walks and climb trees and, like,
pour molten lead into sand because it makes a cool shape when you pull the solidified lead back out the sand.
Oh, because it's like, oh, look, spiky.
It makes like a tree, yeah.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. I mean, that sounds riveting.
Yeah, but
But I suppose, hey, when you're in the 70s, you got to...
Yeah, 70s and 80s is wild time.
There's no Google.
No Google.
You got to make up your own fun. You can't just be like, what is the recipe for disaster?
Yeah, like if it's not in Mum's cookbook,
then, yeah.
You got to go to the library.
You're like, hey, Mum, I'm bored. What should I do for fun? She's like, have you tried pouring molten lead into some sand? No, I haven't. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mum. I'll go try it.
Yeah. Or, just capturing God's creatures and being like, hello, little creature in a bucket. How are? And then it doesn't respond because
it's dead.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Rest in pieces.
Lizard.
Lizorb.
Lizorb.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lizorb.
And then she's in a Zorb ball every time. She's rolling around. She's like, ah! Oh, someone help me get onto the stage. And you're like, Liz. Blizzard. Yeah.
What sort of fun and exciting things do we have coming up in Dunedin?
We have yours fundraiser.
Yes,
which is
December 13th, 8 p.m. at yours, 43 Moray Place. Big, huge lineup of local drag stars. We can raise some money for our beautiful venue that houses us.
And keeps us entertaining the masses. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, it'd be good to just keep it going, keep it flowing.
Yeah.
Who knows, maybe the more we raise, the more fun things will be going on there.
Yeah. And then we'll be entering our summer hibernation, except still planning a million shows, just not performing.
Yes, honestly, and what a nice little dip in there.
But we'll be back in January.
We will be, yes. Actually, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I could literally just be in my art studio, putting together a look, take some photos, then take it off. But I'm also like, that's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
But I suppose that's very like content creator kind of mode, which like I could definitely be doing. Should I be doing?
Should we be?
Maybe.
Gotta be making content.
Exactly.
Content.
Yeah, gotta do it for the algorithm.
For the likes, for the clicks, for the views.
For the divas.
That's how we get famous these days.
Exactly. And unless we do that, we'll probably be working a 9 to 5.
Could you imagine?
No.
Disgusting.
It's not going to happen. The 9 to 5, that is. The fame, it's already on the way.
It's on the way. We're working on it. Big things in the works.
We're already in your ears. So,
exactly.
You know, come join us.
Unless you already turned off the radio because you don't like us.
And if they did, they'd have no idea that we're saying this.
Exactly.
Craziness. This is what happens when Percy's away.
No organization. We'll just bring a random drag queen in and talk about whatever comes across our brain.
I mean, that was almost what we were doing anyway. Almost. Yeah. Speaking of Dragula. Kiwi queen on the show. Yuri Guy doing very well.
So well. Oh my gosh.
Spoilers, by the way. I mean, we're not probably going to spoil. Anyway, so week 1, this person wins. Then this, it's been really cool to see.
Yeah, incredible to watch a Kiwi drag icon like that on the international stage like that and going so far. Like she's well and truly doing the New Zealand drag scene and alternative drag scene super duper proud. Like it's so cool what Yuri's up to.
Exactly. So now I'm like watching this being like, well, now I have to.
Oh, yeah.
I've got to.
One day.
Yes. One day when...
That's like a global competition. That's huge competition.
It is.
You know?
It would be, in my opinion, it would be so much more difficult to win than Drag Race.
Oh, yeah. Well, because Drag Race has its own national varieties where it's just one Dragula and everyone's going to the one Dragula.
That's a really good point. Yeah, totally. If you were on Drag Race, who would you do for Snatch Game?
What would I do for Snatch Game? Maybe Avril Lavigne. Mm-hmm. I think that'd be a good one. I kind of want to do Dolly, but she's been done on Down Under. But, you know, that was in season 1, and if I get on...
Did they do well?
I don't think so. I don't know. I didn't watch season 1.
I did. It had a really weird taste to it. They were definitely workshopping. But, you know, we enjoyed the end result. So,
and I feel like with season 4 now, they're much more developed. They're getting there. It's coming together. It's looking a lot nicer.
It is. It has a lot more heart to it, which is good to see. But also, like, whereas House of Drag?
Yeah.
That was fun.
It was super fun.
Yeah.
I know they'll run out of Kiwi Queens eventually and maybe cut New Zealand out of the Down Under franchise and then we can have House of Drag back.
Oh my goodness. What if they just split like Australia and NZ? Or if they had like half and half and they're just like Australia versus NZ? But also in saying that, the Kiwis have won most of the seasons.
Oh yeah.
So like...
Well, we sent some of our strongest players to those early seasons.
That's true. And I suppose
I've kind of gone through everyone who's like really, really good. There's a few people left who are really, really good.
Of like the originals who've sort of been doing it for
ages and ages.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not sure if some of these queens would even want to do it, you know?
No, yeah, actually, that's a really good point, because, like, when I was living in Wellington, there were a lot of the local queens who were not interested at all, which is fair enough.
Oh, yeah. It's not everybody's cup of tea.
Not at all. But also, like, I think I'd prefer to, you know, jump in the deep end than to just chill in my own little bubble. I mean, it has been nice to chill in my own little bubble, but, you know, you just want to pop it some days, and you're just like, let's go out to the world and spread chaos.
Yeah. Spread joy and love.
Exactly. Joanne Love.
Joanne Love.
Joanne Love. Joanne Love. Pretty terrible drag name. Well, it's not that bad. If someone listening wants it, you can have it.
We won't judge you.
I mean, unless we, you know, become judges in a competition locally. Exactly. And then you were to, like, I don't know, join as a contestant. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much all the time we have for today.
Dear.
Yeah. How time flies. So we shall see. No, we shan't see you. We shall
serenade your ears another day.
Exactly. Serenade with Gatorade. Oh, no, that's product placement. Anyway, bye.
And that's a wrap for today. Diversity Dispatch airs fortnightly on Thursdays at 5 p.m. So if you like today's episode, then be sure to join us in a couple of weeks for the next installment on OAR FM.
And check out the podcast on oar.org.nz and your favourite podcast platforms. Tune in for more chill chats, fun facts, and upcoming local events on Diversity Dispatch.
This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On the Air.